the vast majority of people were there to stand in solidarity and to rally for a positive message.
Rally leaders feel like their event was hijacked, overshadowed by the tense moments between a small group of protesters and police. Plus, we're counting down until North Texas gets a glimpse of a solar eclipse. And we are following breaking news. Several sailors are missing after their destroyer collided with another ship in the Pacific.
The news leader, broadcasting for all North Texas. Fox 4 News starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Natalie Solis. The tense moments after last night's rally in Dallas are the ones being shared online and remembered. The event's organizer wants to make it clear he is not happy with the way things ended. Right now, though, in California, a similar scene is unfolding.
Cops and the Klan go hand in hand! Cops and the Klan go hand in hand!
This is the anti-immigration demonstration happening now in Laguna Beach. As you could hear and see, the chants and signs are covering several topics. At one point tonight in California, mounted patrol even got between protesters and counter-protesters, very similar to the tense interactions that played out in downtown Dallas Saturday. Fox 4's Allison Harris was in the middle of it all on Saturday, and today she spoke with the event's organizer. Allison.
That's right, Natalie. Dallas police tell us 5 people were detained during the protest last night. They were later released without charges, a small number compared to the thousands who attended the rally. But the rally was not the issue last night. It was the impromptu, aggressive protest that started after the rally across the street. About 300 protesters participated at its peak, attacking each other and police. The rally organizer does not want his cause to get tangled up in that.
No Nazis! No KKK! No fascist USA!
Dallas City Hall at 7:30 Saturday night. The intent of the Dallas Against White Supremacy rally was to unite against hate. The energy at first lighthearted.
You can eat cake and stand up for what's right. Yeah, we're having our cake and eating it too.
People from all walks of life came together.
Punch a Nazi! Flip a cop!
Among the people were those representing the anti-fascist movement, or Antifa. Organizer Eric Ramsey had been working with Dallas police and had identified the group as one of several that could cause tension.
I was aware that Antifa were on their way here, and I was also aware that they had been turned away from our rally because they were carrying weaponry.
Ramsey says his own volunteers turned them away, but as night fell and the rally wrapped up, those protesters started marching, yelling obscenities at police. They marched to Pioneer Park Cemetery, where they were met by state police and Dallas police in riot gear, guarding a Confederate monument. That's where things turned physical among protesters. Some throwing water bottles and threatening to open fire on officers. Peaceful protesters who were at the rally stood by in disgust at the violence.
When you go into the police, you change and you distort the entire message. We're not here against the police. We are here against the Confederate statues.
We showed that clip to Ramsey.
I agree. No, I agree with that. That was completely opposite of what we were trying to accomplish.
Ramsey says Dallas police made sure everything went smoothly, even as the situation escalated.
If anybody were at the rally and felt the energy that we felt and just saw everybody there, and then they went to Pioneer Park, they would have been able to see that that was not us.
Dallas police have not said anything further about the rally or the protest since late Saturday, referring us only to the department's tweets. Natalie?
Allison, thank you. Well, before that smaller group of rally-goers broke off, the actual event peacefully reached a peak of about 2,500 people. Fox 4's Lynn Ann Wynn spoke to a few who were glad to see the positivity firsthand.
Among the estimated crowd of 2,500 people gathered in Pioneer Plaza stood activists like Alia Salem, listening to the rally's message to take Confederate monuments in the city down.
From where we stood, we didn't see anything but love and happiness and peace and positivity around the movement.
But the rally was not without its ugliness. Several clashes broke out early by the Confederate monument nearby, which an armed group took it upon themselves to protect. Attendees we spoke to say the groups were kept separate as much as possible by Dallas police.
We were pretty much protected from all that stuff. So it was only people who had an intent to go do something that were engaging in that kind of stuff. The vast majority of people were there to stand in solidarity and to rally for a positive message.
Nancy Caston of Faith Forward Dallas was one of the speakers at the rally and brought her family. She says she was glad to see DPD prepared with DART buses and city service trucks blocking roads from any traffic that could do harm, as seen in Charlottesville.
They definitely made us feel safer, and I think the one thing I regret about last night is that we didn't really give adequate thanks to the Dallas Police Department. I think they really did a very extraordinary job of protecting everybody who was there.
Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings issued this statement after the rally, saying in part, "Our city listened to those who spoke, and we will continue to listen to one another. We will take these statues down, and we will do so soon. Thanks to all for your peaceful protest."
We have so many fissures that need to be healed and repaired, and the only way to do that is with real conversation, with respectful conversation, and with listening as well as speaking.
Leanne Wynn, Fox 4 News.
Another rally against white supremacy organized by a different group is planned for this Friday night at City Hall. A little later on Fox 4 News at 9, we hear from some of our country's leaders and learn their thoughts on the political fallout since the deadly violence in Charlottesville. And now we've got some breaking news to tell you about. The U.S. Navy destroyer USS John S. McCain has collided with a merchant ship near Singapore. The Navy says 10 sailors are missing and 5 are injured. This is the second collision involving a ship from the Navy's 7th Fleet in the Pacific in 2 months. In June, 7 sailors died when the USS Fitzgerald and a container ship hit each other near Japan. The Wise County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly shooting. They say a 15-year-old drove away from the scene on a motorcycle Friday night as police arrived. When deputies went inside, they found 49-year-old David Oakes shot to death. Deputies say the 15-year-old and 49-year-old are related but have not said how. An arrest warrant has been issued for the unnamed teen. They believe he is armed. And another hot and humid day in North Texas tomorrow. Much of the same, but with a special twist. We should have a pretty good view of the solar eclipse. Fox 4 meteorologist Allie Turiano joining us now with more. Hi, Allie.
Hi, Natalie. Good evening, everyone. We are expecting a pretty similar forecast for your Monday. It was a scorcher today, up to 98 at DFW. A lot of locations in the mid and upper 90s with that triple-digit heat index. Some of us are still in the 90s. It's 91 in Hillsborough, 90 in Cleburne. Denton and Collin counties, you've cooled off a little bit more, but it's still 91 for both Dallas and Fort Worth. Denton's at 88 and Mesquite 85. The dew point temperature is high. We have a little bit of a breeze out there. Should stay about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the south and east for us tonight. But because of the amount of moisture in the air, it will continue to feel uncomfortable over the next few days until we can get some rain back in the forecast. So here's what I'm thinking through the overnight, mostly clear skies, and then we get into your Monday, and we're expecting just some fair weather clouds. The peak eclipse force is at 109. Temperatures will be in the 90s. The heat index will likely be over 100. So just be prepared for that heat. Make sure you have your glasses or approved way to view the eclipse, and it should be really nice. It's going to be that way here, but what about other parts of the country? We'll talk more about that and have your 7-day forecast in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Allie. Thousands of people from all over the world are filling up tiny U.S. cities. They all want the perfect view of Monday's solar eclipse. The areas that are lucky enough to be in the path of totality are getting a sudden rush of popularity. Fox's Dan Springer explains.
Madras, Oregon, population 6,000, is fast becoming a madhouse. Long ago identified as one of the premier places to see the first coast-to-coast U.S. solar eclipse in a century, the city is bracing for 100,000 visitors this weekend.
This is 3 Super Bowls along with the Winter Olympics coming to Madras.
Nearly all hotels and campsites for miles have been booked for 2 years. Many homeowners are renting out their houses. This one snagged $1,500 a night with a 4-night minimum. J.R. Brooks, who's organizing Solar Fest, rented a carrot field to create a makeshift solar town. He'll house 20,000 campers, and for $3,500, he'll rent you half a shipping container.
It's got air conditioning, beds, daily change out, showers, electricity, Wi-Fi, TV. The whole 9 yards, and that's the top of the line.
It's all to see the rare solar system dance that occurs when the moon is at its closest to the Earth and sitting perfectly in front of the sun, turning day into night. Everyone in the lower 48 states will see at least a partial eclipse, but a total eclipse will be visible over a 70-mile wide area that will start on the Oregon coast at 10:17 in the morning and end 93 minutes later at the South Carolina coast. This Californian drove to Idaho to be in the path of totality.
We're going to be here come hell or high water.
Special viewing glasses are a must, and watch out for scams. Retina specialists say unless they're made with ISO 123122, permanent damage could be done quickly.
Anything more than a second or two really is very risky.
Oregon is expecting 1 million eclipse chasers, clogging roads so badly the governor declared a state of emergency to deploy the National Guard. If you missed this solar eclipse, the wait for the next one that will cross the entire United States won't be nearly as long. August of 2045, or 28 years for the next chance to bark at the moon in the middle of the day. In Seattle, Dan Springer, Fox News.
Still a long time to wait. A young cancer patient, though, will have a bird's eye view of the solar eclipse thanks to one North Texas doctor. 17-year-old Jack Cross of Colleyville is battling a rare form of brain cancer. He's staying positive about recovery despite the recent loss of his father and brother. Helping to keep that positivity alive is stem cell therapy expert Dr. Neil Riordan. Dr. Riordan chartered a flight for Jack to watch the eclipse in Kentucky from the skies under that path of totality. It's a sight many people will never get in their lifetime.
I've only been looking up pictures online and stuff about total solar eclipses, and they look amazing, especially the ones that were taken from airplanes. They look way cooler because they're like, you see the light going over like the city below you.
Jack is paying the kind gesture forward with good deeds of his own. He started an online fundraiser to help his mother pay for medical bills and has also donated dozens of baseball hats to sick kids at Cook Children's Medical Center. Later in the newscast, we continue our solar eclipse coverage and give you a few ways to watch this historic event.
I like it. I like it.
I thought so. I knew you were. No, wait for the cue.
We take a look back on the comedic and philanthropic career of Jerry Lewis. Plus, knife-carrying laws are expanding in Texas. A look at what will be totally legal to carry come September. And Dallas police were able to catch up to a stolen Lamborghini early this morning.
I'm Mike Ducey. Tonight on Sports Sunday at 10, the Star Telegram's Mac Engel with me in the open mic discussing the Zeke investigation. Plus,
my clear-eyed view, a focused vision, determined belief, earned dreams, it's got me here today.
Best story from last night's preseason win for the Cowboys, the return of linebacker Jalen Smith. How he beat the odds and what his teammate, who happens to be his brother, is saying about it. As the Rangers look to complete a homestand with a victory, a frightening moment at the ballpark. Joey Gallo and Matt Bush knocking heads. Gallo getting the worst of it. An update on his condition at 10. And one of the great catches you will ever see by any outfielder at any level, up and over. The spectacular play and the odd ruling that came right after it. Tonight, it's Sports Sunday at 10.